Welcome back to PB&J Off-Road, folks. Got a project I've been looking forward to getting done. Swapping out my D30 for a D44. Getting it from a buddy that we wheel with. Really excited about it. It's gonna have it's got 488 gears. We'll have an air locker. Also the RCV shafts, which I'm really excited about. So it should be a really nice upgrade. What that will allow me, a lot of things. I like the air locker versus I'm running an Aussie mechanical right now full time. So I think that'll be easier on the road when I'm not wheeling. Also, I like that RCV. I mean that's really I think quite the axle shaft right there. So two really nice upgrades in my opinion. And the other benefit is down the road I'll be able to go over to 37s in the future, which for me that's about as big a tire as I can have on this reasonably, because my garage, I can't get it in the garage. I've got 1 more inch of clearance, so those 37s will give it to me, will max me out I should say. So anyway, that's where we're at so far. I've done a few things to it, and I'll run you through it real quick to let you know where we stand. And I'm finishing up. I'm going to finish up here, getting the axle pretty much ready to pull off. We've got everything, so when Brian gets here and Lance later this evening, we'll be ready to get put the new one on. But just finishing pulling the 30 off. But right now I'm pulling the long arms off. I've already broke off the unhooked the drive shaft. I am also I've got the tires off, getting ready to pull the brake calipers off. I've unhooked or loosened up the bolts on the upper control arms. I'll break the shocks, untighten those bolts. Getting ready to drain the diff. So, and then I'll break loose the steering, track bar, drag link, etc. Get all that ready. So when it gets here this evening, it'll just be turning a few wrenches, and it should be ready to throw that 44 on.
all the way down now. That lower, I'm going to pull it forward so it misses that to compete with the Pro Eagle one, and I've been looking at the Pro Eagle one, but don't want to spend $600 on it.
I don't blame you.
Okay.
All right.
It's very similar. That's a good news. Except it's so tiny.
Hey man, it's not about the size.
Yes, it is. That's why you're going with
Oh.
this one. I think.
That way we won't.
If the used part.
We won't
If the used part.
use parts.
From the U pull it yard. So this is a replacement upper link from Rough Stuff, I believe, Rough Stuff Specialties. The stock one, and yours has a truss on it. So the stock one is a flimsy sheet metal, and I bent that quickly and easily, and I cut all that off, welded this one on, and then made this truss to hold it more securely.
That's good work, brother.
But then just recently, you'll notice this is the new Artec track bar bracket. I had one that looked similar to your old one, and this hole wallows out. This hole has a lot of tension from the track bar because that thing takes all kinds of twisting forces and pulling forces. So that thin sheet metal that comes in the stock one tends to wallow out quite a bit. And I'm blocking the light here. So this one from Artec comes with a 3/16 metal, and it's just solid, and it has gussets, and it has a new sway bar link mount, and it's a nice piece.
It looks good. Everything looks good.
One's ready. I'm gonna go clean up the other side.
I'm gonna go find a 15mm socket. Be back in about 30
I
minutes.
don't see it. Look, I do that thing.
You should have seen us finding a nut for a screw just for a hood light.
We do
3
that.
hours later.
You spend about half a day and make it completely organized, and you'll stop pulling out.
Oh man, I wouldn't even know where to start with those.
Well, you could open this, you could go 3, 2, 1, found it, go. And that's how long it would take. But now I'm going to sit here and be like, where would a 15mm?
I'm fixing mine after Christmas.
Yeah. Well, I think what the benefit of this is, it keeps you sharp because you learn to identify by eye. All right. So yes, it probably takes me one more because I take the wrong one over there. I need one smaller. One.
But I have the
Keeps
same
me healthy.
drawer, and you open it, and
I know. I
literally
hate
3, 2,
people
1,
like
it's supposed
you.
to be right here. I don't
just
even
pull
need
it
to
out,
look at the
don't you?
labels because I
Just-
know where they always are.
Yeah, people like you make the rest of us look bad.
It's the only thing organized in my life. My socket drawer.
Give me another jack. Push on that jack.
They sure are shiny shots, but they're tiny.
They're
They are tiny.
They're so tiny. They're so small. You need bigger tops.
Yeah, man. Tell you what. Almost rides like a Cadillac.
Yeah.
Almost.
You know what was on my doorstep today?
Mm-mm.
The new 2.5 by 14 Fox coilovers that are
Bro.
going in the front of the TJ.
See, you must be doing all right, Brian.
A wheel and
Good
deal.
bonus for you too.
A wheel and deal. That's the thing, is we don't get bonuses. We don't get bonuses in the Army. We just get pay raises. I will always get a raise every single year.
Significant.
No.
Cost of living.
Cost of living.
Couple hundred a month.
Yeah, I get cost of living.
That's me. Cost
Social
of living.
Security. You get Social Security raise.
Yeah, I
All right,
get.
I'm on.
cost of
Yeah, I gotta
living
tighten mine
and
down.
I
of
would-
course,
Do
bonus
we
is
want to
bonus.
tighten down yet?
The shocks?
I mean, we're in. I mean, Axel's in, right?
It's ready to go. Shoot.
Check, we're in.
You can put weight on it right now.
Yeah.
Because you got one upper and both lowers connected.
So we need to look at next caster.
The
Well,
track bar. The track bar needs to go in.
I thought those RCBs went back to the.
is there a sleeve in there?
No.
No.
Not that I know. Maybe the previous owner put a sleeve in it, but
You know if they cut the axle and then turned, or the C and turned it? I've seen that done a couple
no,
times.
I
Have
would.
you seen that?
Yeah,
Where
but I
people
don't
cut
know
off
why
the
they
C and
would
turn
on a
it?
stock TJ. You would do that with extreme lift, like really high, and 4 inches isn't enough to cut it and turn it.
I've heard that too. Keep
The
getting
track
back to
bar
that
is my
4
next
inches.
question.
What's that?
The
Track
track bar
bar.
is my next
Track
question.
bars are-
Because as I mentioned,
here.
putting this bracket in,
Yeah, let's
I
put
look
that
at
on.
that hole, it's very small. We probably need to drill that hole out.
Alright.
Here.
But I didn't know what size bolt you had for the track bar.
Yeah.
I'm letting you put your... Oh, this is a tiny bolt. It might work.
I'm in.
Might work. I need to know, is that other bolt over here from the track bar?
Yeah, I think that's the one in your hand right there.
Yeah, it has a flange on
Yeah. Should have a wing on the back now.
it.
Does that have a wing on the back?
No, just a flange nut. I know what you mean. It's gotta hold itself. But with this style of bracket, you can get a on the backside.
Alright, bro, need to drill.
I don't think we're gonna do
Is
this.
it gonna?
Nope, it fits. It's perfect. It's just a much smaller bolt than I expected. This holds your whole track
That's
bar.
Robert's.
It's my bolt, isn't it?
It's Robert's bolt.
This is key to depth level. I'll tell you that right there.
What's that?
That spacing in that bolt
This tightness right
Yes.
here
is key.
is key. Because
Yeah, that's right.
that's why I replaced it, because mine was all wallowed out and you couldn't get it tight enough to keep it from moving.
Yes. Yeah, my, of course, if you look at this one over here, that bracket is completely cracked on mine.
Well, hold on,
Right.
Brian. Put that through the track bar. That's where you feel it the most. What wiggles in there?
Yeah, it's got no, it's sleeved, so it should be right. That's the right bolt for it.
Yeah, that's the right one. Yes. I took it off. I know the bolts.
Yeah. It's as good as it's gonna get. Okay, here just comes the tricky
Because
part.
the other thing I had to deal with was
So
on
I don't want to adjust this.
on the drag.
You know what I mean? Because that's how it.
That's how it's square
That's
with
what
the
it
frame.
wants to be.
Yeah.
But the axle needs to go your way. Keep going. Oh, hold on right there. Hold on. You moved it much easier than I thought it was gonna move. A little more. Hold. A little more. There we go. But we gotta get to the inside and put enough.
Boy, you got to come out a lot though.
Come out a lot.
Yeah. His spring is like bent backwards on my side.
Okay, so let's do that before we put a bolt in it.
No, put the bolt in it. I think you're
The
good.
bolt's holding it. It's just in one side of it. It's not all the way through.
Well, that squares it with the frame. Bringing the.
It's also at full droop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you should
So at
see-
full droop, when it comes up, this is gonna flatten out and it's gonna push the axle my way.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's definitely going to need to come this way.
Yeah.
Which way?
It's good. Let's put that bolt in. Let's.
No, it needs to go passenger side.
No, what's going to happen is
It's got
when
a
it
cup.
when it pivots that C down, right? So when that right now we're pulling away from that side of the frame,
Yep.
and when we pull it back up, that's going to pull back in,
Yep.
And then the question is how much on the lower control arm we're gonna have to pull out
to push it
line that
forward.
back.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you they're off. Even, I mean, I knew they were before, because, I mean, you know how broken the link was on the 30 from where I fell on it?
Wait,
And that wasn't for
From-
All right, go ahead and put that in.
hold on. From your opinion, what do you set first? You set the left to right on the axle, or the front to back? Because the left to right is completely controlled by the track bar. The front to back are your lowers.
Yep. And the caster is on your
uppers.
Right.
So
What I'm saying though is,
I think
you can still put that in and we can make the adjustments on that while it's in.
You can? Okay.
Well, yeah, it's got the center adjuster. You can just turn that out, right?
In theory.
The only thing that I question right now
What size
is
is
the center of it, right?
this? The center of it?
Well, your track bar is going to center the axle on the frame.
Yeah, but it has to be at ride height. So it has to have all the weight supported, sitting at ride height to get a good measurement.
Right. I'm with you. Right now, it's not on those jacks at all.
Right. It needs to have the weight off of the frame on the axle, on the coils. And then
It just has to be at the ride height.
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
But you're only going to do that by compressing the coils to ride height. And then
I'm with you.
what we can do
We're
is
good.
like a ratchet strap to the frame to slide the frame
Yep.
to help it.
Yep.
This is not lining up on the inside.
All right. Tell me what you need.
I don't know.
Left or right? Here, let me.
I would imagine push it in a little bit. It's not moving at all, is it? Hold on. I think I gotta twist it while. Oh, got it. Okay, isn't it? And then we'll put the
Three
jack stands
times.
back under it once it's off the frame jack stands.
Oh,
You know what I
really?
mean? Yeah. Or no? Do you not want to do it that way?
We can look at the. Hold on. We should be able to look at the rear. I just don't know how much lift is on the frame from the rear. Because we don't know where center hub is at the floor, right? From the tire to center hub.
in theory, we can do this with the tires on.
You just take it up.
Yeah, you can adjust this when it's sitting on the. Everything's done
Just
and it's
send
sitting
it.
there. You can adjust it left to right.
But it's a lot easier with the tires off.
No, I think it's
No.
easier with the tires on because it holds everything stable. But we have a lot of adjustments to do: left, right, forward, back.
I mean, right now with that in, we are tied to the frame. So we should be able to measure where we sit in the back, right?
Well, it just needs to be square with the frame. It doesn't matter what the back. The axles, right? Just do a plumb bob from the frame down to a spot on the axle and make sure it's in the same spot on the other side. At ride height though, not at full droop. That's why I say we need to jack it up, and you put it on the jack stands, on the axle, not on the frame.
Jack it up. Just jack up the axle because it's not gonna. You're gonna have to go pretty far to get it off
Yes, you
those
are.
jack stands.
Those jack stands are up there.
Well, I mean, you're getting close because the frame's going up. That's really close to the compressed height of the coil.
Where is the control arm, or the uppers to the lowers? Because those should run somewhat. We should be getting somewhat parallel.
Oh, it's gonna go quite a bit then. But I can see this moving, so you're getting close to where needs to be. Yep. That's close enough to set that track bar. But it's a big difference from where it was. You know what I'm talking about? Because the whole, as you went up, it went left.
Yeah.
And yeah, it definitely straightened up a little bit.
Yeah, because that arc of the track bar pulled it.
Yeah, that's the problem I'm having now with my JK is when I take my passenger tire and flex it, I pull over.
Everything.
Well, I'm pulling over the drive shaft, and it's hitting the transmission pan. So that's
You
what
need
I
a limit strap on that.
That's why I need to pull that back. I need to actually adjust my track bar away
Yeah,
from
so
the
it
frame.
sits like to the driver
Yeah,
a
so
little bit.
when it does this, it pulls it that C motion
Yeah.
or that arc in the C.
But that sits a whole lot nicer right now. But it's still not. That's actually really close.
As far as the
Look at the coils.
Yeah, how
up and
straight
down
they
they
are.
are.
Mhm.
It looks closer.
this one's still got a little bend.
Well, it's bending this way, not this way.
Yeah, it's kind of it's still
Well,
got
that's going to be the lower.
to push it out.
That the coil the front and back bend doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because all we're gonna do is set caster.
It would be
and
this
then-
way on the bend, this way that would
Yeah.
be more concerning.
Right.
All right.
Oh, right, we don't have that.
So the way I've always set the axle with the track bar is with a plumb bob off the frame, left to right.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Let's plumb bob it.
So if you just have a piece of string and a washer,
Tell you what, Plumb Bob.
Plumb Bob, could you come here, please?
That was my favorite cartoon growing up with my kids.
Plumb
Plumb
Bob.
Bob.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Plumb Bob. I mean, this is a nice cut. I mean, that looks like it was factory right there. See that cut right there?
Somebody cut that off.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
we did.
Why would you cut that off?
Well, because originally,
Because the owner of the vehicle told me to.
Hey,
originally,
I got a new thing to add to the list, and it's remote reservoirs on a rock crawler.
see, that's still gonna hit on.
Do you know
it,
why
even if I turn
remote
them up.
reservoirs exist?
What is the
Why?
point of a remote reservoir?
More fluid. Do you know why you need more fluid? Because you overheat the fluid.
Yes.
Why do you overheat fluid?
Okay.
Because you're working it extra hard. That's why you overheat the fluid. Do you
Alright.
think you do that in this Jeep?
He does it when he's home alone.
With his shocks?
I think.
So that's why you don't need more fluid on a rock crawler. You don't need external
It's
reservoirs.
typically too much friction.
You got plenty of fluid inside that shock for the speeds that you go with this Jeep. If you don't do 100 miles an hour, then you don't need more fluid. Are you overheating them to the point where they stop working?
Not yet, but
Nope.
I do, man.
Nope.
You've seen
Nope.
me hit those trails
Nope.
full send.
Can't convince me that you need
I
remote
mean, I'm
reservoirs.
going at least 5 miles, 10 miles.
You got
an
remote
hour.
reservoirs because they got sweet looking cables that go
You
in
know
this,
what?
this
Oh, they're
bracket.
pretty. They're pretty.
They go
Oh,
right with
God.
that hood.
No, they're
It's
pretty.
all part of this excessiveness.
They're pretty.
It's just not needed.
It's
Purdy.
called. It's the
It's
combination.
just not needed.
It's all pretty.
Well, look, if we went on everything needed, I
It's
wouldn't have
pretty
the
though. It's pretty.
I mean, I wouldn't have any of this.
It's
It'd be
well,
the stock Jeep.
He
that
really
I
wanted it to
started
sit
with.
next
on
to
now.
it. He really wanted it to be like right next to it, so they were like,
Yeah.
Married.
You get the shiny ones too, so
Yeah.
that people notice them.
yeah,
And then you
oh,
put
I got
some-
the Fox. I got
So
the.
then the next thing on the list is lights inside the fender wells. Lights inside the fenders, so that you shine and you expose all that stuff that you spent money on, except that it never makes it all the way down to the ground where you're actually trying to see.
Hey, I put on special
No, but
brake
again-
lines. I put on special brake lines just so it looks pretty.
Well, okay,
It's
brake lines I
pretty.
can see because
It's
they gotta be
pretty.
longer. You gotta get longer
I
ones
mean-
anyway.
Well, you gotta get longer ones, but you gotta look pretty.
Damn right. I mean, again,
If you're gonna
It
buy
looks
it,
good.
get the pretty ones, but you don't need reservoirs. Sorry.
no, but they look damn good.
Sweet. I think you're gonna like the JK setup, Robert.
I think the first thing Robert changes is the steering.
He's gonna go back to the Y as soon as he
You said this was
possibly
a
can.
drill.
I mean,
I just had to set it right.
Yeah, the JK setup is you're gonna love it.
All right, Robert. We're not even gonna put this on your Jeep, just because it's being referred to.
I'll be right back. I gotta get the team.
I think he likes, you know, he's a closet JKer.
Well, I'm a closet JLer.
Yeah, I could be too.
I mean, you put one in my hands, and I would drive that thing every day. Instead of that stupid big old Dodge. Here's the problem. Damn it.
The angle.
Can't get it in there. It needs to come off. Yeah. Well, that sucks.
What can we use to pull that off there?
A Pitman arm puller.
Yeah, I don't think we have a Pitman arm pull.
AutoZone. Does Bougie Hilton Head have an AutoZone?
Yeah, we do. Yep. Hey Siri, what time does AutoZone close?
Here's what I'm thinking, Lance. Get it in the morning. Get this thing all squared away, ready to go, and then pull this off and drill it in the morning, AutoZone or advanced to work.
Yeah, I mean, I can.
Here's the conversation. You need to take this Pitman arm off in order to drill it out because of the way it's
The angle.
angled in there. But for the time being, I mean, meaning tonight, let's put a smaller bolt in it to hold it in place.
Okay.
And then let's get a Pitman arm puller in the morning and pull this off and drill it sitting out there on your makeshift drill press. And then put it back up there with the right bolt in there. And that's all we got to do tomorrow.